Hi, it's Jess here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So today I'm bringing you the tutorial for this card. I made this card for the Inspirations blog hop. I do an inspiring and an inspirations. They're confusing. So I made this card, so I thought I'd make it again. I've made this for a 6th birthday. I'm going to make one now for a 1st birthday. And I'm going to change the colour up, and I'm going to use Highland Heather. Matches my nails. So this is the 6x6 paper stacks that you get in all the different family colours. So that one was the retiring in colours. That's Pretty Peacock. So that's only available now while stocks last. Not sure if they've got any left. I didn't check. But this is the subtles, and then there's the brights, the neutrals, and the regals, and the other in colours that aren't retiring. So I've made a square card. It's not quite 6x6 because I haven't used 12x12 cardstock. I've used ordinary A4 cardstock. So I'll show you how I get a square from that. So my card base is Highland Heather, and in the UK our A4 is about 11 3/4. Obviously if you're using different size cardstock and yours is 11, then you would cut it slightly different. So if you've got 11 inches, you're going to cut here at 5.5, and then that gives you a 5.5 squared card, whereas we go to 5 7/8. So if we cut that at 5 7/8, and then score again at 5 7/8, obviously you do 5.5 if you have cardstock that's 11, and that is a nice square card. So obviously doing it this way, you only get one card out of a sheet of cardstock. Normally we get 2, but sometimes you just need a little bit of something special. So I'm just gonna give that, is ever so slightly out, but you can sort of sort that out in your scoring. That's what I do, and then we get it better. Okay, so if that is 5 7/8 by 5 7/8, we're going to go to 5 5/8. Obviously if you've done yours 5.5, then you would go to 5.25. We'll put all the measurements on my blog as usual. So that's going to give us a nice mat there, and then we're going to cut our DSP down. So that's now going to go to 5 3/8. So it would just be 5 by 5 if you were in the States. And then that's a nice mat there. So we're getting 1/8 of an inch all the way around the 2 edges, and then we need a piece for the centre because it's a coloured piece of cardstock. So that should be right, shouldn't it? No, it isn't right. So yeah, we'll cut that down. So that's the 5 5/8, which would be 5.25, and then that gives you a nice mat for the inside for writing on. So I just thought I'd show you how I did that cutting. So now on to the decoration. So to decorate, I have used the balloon punch. This is retiring. Devastated. I'll keep it in my stash. Great for kids' cards. So I just used the big balloon for that, and that is kind of, sometimes when you go to parties and they have helium balloons on the table and they have little weights to hold them up, so I've used a stitch rectangle for that. So I used this one here, and it's nice to have a bit of bunting at a party, so I also cut out some bunting. And then I've used the playful alphabet dies to give my number. So I'm going to do a 1. Just checking that I've got big eye. Oh no, there is a proper 1. That's what I was checking for. It was like, there, proper 1. We'll have that. Never get them up. There. So I'm going to do a 1. There's all my spare letters. I'll just keep them in there as they're cut. Might be handy to have some. And then a happy birthday. So I used the little butterfly and then the happy birthday. And I've created a sort of an ombre effect. So I'll show you how I did that. Okay, so that's all the bits. So we've got some offcuts of cardstock, which is useful. So, oh, there's a seat. I can see you. So, what I'm going to do is punch 3 balloons. I chose to do them all the same size. So that's our 3 balloons. And then to create this ombre effect, I'm going to, might need that one, we'll see. I'm going to do some spun blending. So I'm going to get a bit of, get a scrap paper, got my blending brush. There's a little bit of pink on there, but there is some purple. You can, as long as you sort of check that the colours sort of brushed out, you can mix and match a bit, but you can wash them, and I have, and I'll probably wash again soon. So I'm going to get some ink on my brush, and then I'm just going to brush it across the card. I want an ombre effect, so I want a mixture of dark and light. So I'm just going to build up the colour. You can see that colour going on now. I do like doing this. So much fun. Yeah, quite like that. So then what I'm going to do is lay, I'm going to just, there's a bit of card stuck in there, get them out. So that's going to go along there, so we've got dark at the top and light at the bottom. So that's going to get our happy birthday coming out there. Might go a little bit darker at the top, and so we're going to cut, we'll probably cut a butterfly out from there as well, and then we can do the same on here to cut that out and cut that out. Now you can either cut them out and then brush it on afterwards, but I just found it a bit easier to do it this way. It's just easier to hold on to your brush. I mean the paper. So then you can cut it out like that. And then for the balloons, I did the balloons obviously as they are. So each balloon I just held at the end and blended down. To create the balloon effect. And that, when it's on top there, this looks really cool. So I'll get those all cut out and then we'll assemble it. So that's them all cut out, and I forgot to mention this die in the stitched triangles. It cuts little triangles out, and that's what I used on the little bit of bunting there. So they're all ready now to get stuck on my card, like so. Got a little one somewhere. Where's my little one? There. So that's all ready. So I'll just show you a couple little tricks in putting the triangles on and then making our nice little tight string for our balloons. So what I do is, the easiest way I find is a little dab of glue. This is Tombow, and this is where these little needle end bottles come in handy. So I just do a little dot there in the middle of each of the triangles. I use my putty end of this. They've stuck on the plate, and I just pick them up and then I just stick it down, and that's how I put them on. Might do a little bit of adjusting. And that is the least fiddly way I find of getting them on. Ooh. And I just wanted something on top to sort of make the bunting pop. I was going to get the little, we had a bunting set a while back, I think it might be in the last annual catalogue, that had small letters. And I did think about digging that up and spelling the name of the child this is going to. Of course, that only works if you've got enough umbrellas. So that's how I did that bit. Now I'm going to show you how I did the string for the balloons. So I used a white baker's twine. So this comes in a duo pack. It's the snail mail twine, and you get a pink one as well. I think that's Blushing Bride. So we're gonna, oh, this is a new one. I was just using up my old one, and I've more or less finished it. I hadn't realised I hadn't actually opened this one. So I want that to go about there. Three of them. There we go. Did do this on a Facebook Live the other day. Similar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stamp and seal. Move that out of the way. So we're going to be down here. That's where the holder's going to be. So I'm going to put a little bit of stamp and seal down there. Doing that a bit cack-handed. Oh, I've got it on there. So going to stick that at the bottom. Like so. So they're nicely secured there, and that will get covered by that. And then we've got our balloons. So I'm kind of imagining where they're gonna go. The middle one's going to get stuck up on dimensionals, so that's where we need to move them apart a bit, and then that middle one up there, and that's going to be on dimensionals. So yep, that's about right. So we're going to put a bit of that there, pull it tight, stick it down. That one about there, pull it tight, stick it down. And then the one in the middle, I'm just going to snip a bit. I'm going to go in the centre, pull it tight and stick it down. And then you've got some nice tight strings. Like so. Maybe should have put that over a little bit, but it's fine. Be fine. So now we're just going to stick those two down. got some dimensionals. That's little ones, some big ones. I think they're on my desk. I'll just use these little edges. Thinking I should have stuck the number on first, but never mind. Done now. There we go. As we were discussing on the Facebook Live about strings on your balloons and saying they have to be straight. So that's on there like that. Where's my little triangle gone? Hiding. Put that down there so it's like a balloon weight. Then we need our 1, because this is for a first birthday. There we go, and then I'm going to put the little bunting across. I may as well just decorate it all now before I assemble the card. And you can, when you do little bits like that, what I find is stick an acrylic block over it to hold it down. So I'm going to do the birthday first. I'm going to use my more precision bit of glue. So I'm going to do little dots around. And then we could swap over. And I'm going to put a little gem for the dot. Because I always think that looks nice. But it's going to be pearls. I'm going to colour pearls with my blend. Got a little butterfly there. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a curl so it's in flight. Move that out of the way now, actually. So just a little gentle curl. You want to be gentle because you don't want it to rip. Out there. I'm going to stick it onto the card base before I put the pearls on. And I think agree, that's a very pretty card. I think lovely for children. These balloon punches are brilliant for children's cards. It is retiring, so if you want it, you better get in quick. All the retiring list, last chance products, are while stocks last. Some are reduced, so there are some right bargains to be had. Some things aren't reduced. There was a bit of a clearance rack refresh, but as ever, the DSP went really quickly, like within minutes. So that's why I always send out emails to let people know just before it goes, so that you can get on there. And I always say, if there's something you're hoping to appear, and if you're particularly thinking of stocking up on DSP that's, you know, retired, get on quick, else you won't get it. I did have a customer who had it in a basket, and then she went to check out and she went, it's just disappeared from my basket. And I went, yeah, because they will have sold out. So Highland Heather blend, and I'm just going to cover colour pearls. So I want one for the eye, and then, oh, I've got these are strung together. I have 3 of these for my butterfly body. These are not how the pearls come to you now. These are, gosh, when I first started Stampin' Up, they look like this. But I found this, I just mislaid it, and it was like, oh, they're old, they still work, but we no longer do them, so they're strung together like this, I don't think, anyway. But they're quite handy when they're strung together for butterfly bodies. And there we have it. So that is the card, and then I just need to stick the panel on the inside to finish it off. So there we have it. 2 of my favourite colours. Purples, any purple I love, and Pretty Peacock I love. I'm going to miss Pretty Peacock. Some of the others I won't miss, but I am going to miss Pretty Peacock. So there, so I hope these, both girls this is going to, so I hope they like them. And that's my card. I will link to the original blog hop. The theme was birthdays, so you go and see what everybody else has made. And all the measurements will be on nigezza.co.uk. And yeah, I hope you'll join me again next time. I'll link to all the items that I use down below, which will take you straight to my shop. Or if you prefer, you can pop over to my blog and see them there. They'll all be at the bottom of the blog in little thumbnails, so you can have a little look at them as well. So bye for now.